So I will just wait for a few seconds and then I'll get started. So today, as you all know, I'll be talking about a topic which most of my clients have seen that they have this issue and how they have been able to overcome it. And most of us, we have this issue at least sometimes in our life where we want to avoid something, we want to postpone something, if it's an important task or if it's something we need to postpone it for some reasons, right? And the word which we use for it is known as procrastination. And I have done it too. It's not that only you, a lot of people do it, right? So procrastination, and they don't know the reason for it. So what in this live session I'll be covering for you all is the understanding of what procrastination is. Number two, all about the science behind it, how your mind is working when you're procrastinating or when you're postponing some of your important tasks or not so important tasks. We'll talk all about that. And of course, the tips and the techniques I'll give you how you can overcome your procrastination next time when you're facing it. And by the end of the live, I will give you 5 questions which you should be able to do it with me if you want to do it on live session, and just see where your procrastination is and are you a procrastinator or you are not. So that's going to be a live and you will come to know why you are postponing your important tasks and what is going through you. So it's going to be the great overall session where you can assess yourself that are you a procrastinator and why are you a procrastinator. And as all you know, when I'm done with my session, if you have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer them. So with that, let's get started. So what we're talking here today is all about procrastination. And I think all of us, including me or you or anybody I speak to, any of my clients, everybody has gone through it. When you are trying to do something and you are just postponing that particular task and you don't know the reason actually, right? So most of us, we try to find a reason why we are postponing a task, why that boss has told me something, your spouse has told you to do something, and you are just not understanding. And of course, the basic understanding, are you a procrastinator or you're a lazy person? So that will also give you the clarity of it. So let's begin with what are the reasons for this procrastination we are talking about, right? So this procrastination, as defined as we all know, it is just when you are, for basically no rhyme and reason, you're just postponing a task. There is no necessarily a reason for that and you're just doing it, right? And what happens after that, I explain it to you in the later part of the session. But let's begin. What are the reasons why you are doing it, right? So the reasons are probably have a low confidence. Most of us, when we are trying to postpone any important task, we are dealing with low confidence in ourselves. Number 2, another major one is anxiety. So you get nervous, right? If somebody asks you to do something, you try to get nervous about it. How will I do it? What will happen? Number 3 is the lack of structure. So most of my clients who I work with, I have to, if they're having an issue of procrastination, I have to tell them how to structure their lives around whatever they're trying to achieve in their lives. And it's not easy, by the way. Structuring does not mean literally copying and pasting it like, okay, this is. No, it is way beyond that. If you're a procrastinator, you have to really learn to how to work, whether it's a to-do list, how to do a proper time management, lots of things. And it's not easy, correct? So when you're procrastinating, you have to focus on why you're procrastinating. That is the most important thing to understand. And the last one is inability to motivate yourself. Most of us in our lives, we are not able to motivate ourselves. So, and that leads us to just postponing whatever we are trying to do in our lives, correct? So these are the 4 major reasons which I've seen most of the procrastinators have, right? Now let's talk about what are the signs of procrastination. How do you see that somebody's literally procrastinating in their lives? So the signs or the symptoms we talk about is uncertain goals. So when you sometime when I talk to my clients and they come up with, oh, I want to do this, no, I'll do that, or I'll finish it by this date, the goals. So goal setting is so important, but most of the procrastinators, they have a weird understanding of their goals. It's literally scattered around. So they don't have a special deadlines, or they don't know how to work with the goals, right? So these procrastinators, number 2 signs or symptoms are feeling overwhelmed. So if you give them something to do, even if it's a simple task, they will get overwhelmed. Oh, how will I do it? What will I do? How can I, just finish this task or something? So number 3 is difficulty in concentration, right? So they have a big difficulty in concentrating on anything, right? So they are not able to fully stay focused at one thing. And that leads to what we all know. If you don't have a good concentration, if you don't have a good focus, what would happen? The productivity will go down, whether it's you're a homemaker or whether you're a doctor, any in between professions, anything you do in your life, correct? So number 4 is easily getting bored. So procrastinators, I don't know how many of you can just comment here, feel that you're easily getting bored. You easily get bored when you're trying to do something, right? So, and number 5, the signs and symptoms are you do have those negative beliefs in your mind. So beliefs like, I cannot do this. It is too tough for me. This task is beyond my capabilities. All those negative beliefs, they start to pour in your mind as you are trying to overcome something. Now, here I will touch upon, since all you know I'm a former scientist, I'll touch upon a little bit in the simple language, what is the science behind procrastination? Please understand this, because I want to also pacify your logical mind, analytical mind, right? So let's do that here. So what is the science behind procrastination? So as we all know, so our brain parts, I'll talk about 2 parts, simple way. The limbic brain part, the limbic system, and I'm going to talk about the prefrontal cortex. So these 2 parts, right? So the procrastination is nothing, is the battle between these 2 parts of the brains. Now you would ask me what is happening here. So limbic system, in the simple language, if I can say, is all about your, when you feel I would say uncomfortable in a situation, your limbic system tells you run away, flee from it, okay? Fight or flight, run away from it, okay? That's your limbic system. Now what does your prefrontal cortex does? The other system I'm talking about, it will tell you it is more about your personality, your behaviors, your habits, you're basically making decisions, who you truly are, okay? So all that prefrontal cortex is all about that. Correct? So what is happening when you're a procrastinator or you're procrastinating? There's a battle going on between these 2 parts of the brain. Now, limbic system is a little stronger than prefrontal cortex. Okay? So I hope you have guessed it. Now what will you do? If any situation overwhelms you, if any situation you feel fear to move ahead, what will happen? You'll give up or you'll postpone it. So limbic system becomes more powerful than your prefrontal cortex system. So this is, and that leads to the procrastination in whatever you're trying to do in your life. So this is a little science behind it, okay? Now, most of you have asked me, and my clients, when they started working with me, they have asked me, what is the difference between a procrastination and a laziness? A lot of people think the person who is lazy is a procrastinator, or a person who is procrastinating in doing their task is a lazy. That's not true. So I'm going to be debunking that myth. That's really not true. So procrastination involves literally unnecessarily delaying. So you know you can do a task today, but you're just for some reason delaying it for tomorrow or day after. So that is a simple procrastination. Whereas laziness is when you don't want to start that task. You don't want to put in any efforts in that task. I hope I'm making it clear. So that is laziness. Okay. So procrastination is when you have a task in your hand and for some reason you're delaying it. You know, if I'll not do it today, I will do it tomorrow or I'll do it next week. So in your mind, you know about it. But a lazy person, what that does is basically it has no efforts. It would not go out of the way to start that task. So that task can be cancelled by a lazy person, in other words. Okay, so I hope I was able to clarify the difference between procrastination and laziness. And you can see who you are, you know, where you're Lie, whether are you a procrastinator or are you a lazy person. So what is procrastinating? Procrastination is not. Please pay attention to this one. Procrastination is not a symptom of depression. I'm talking about the clinical depression. It is absolutely not. Why? Because procrastination is your behavior. It's about your personality. It's about you forming your habits. It's about a skill you can develop. Whereas a clinical depression is something which is internally going on in your body with different reasons. So a lot of people get confused once they start postponing something. They don't like doing something. They kind of, most of the people think they're probably having some kind of depression, but that needs to be evaluated with the doctor. So it's not a clinical depression. You can definitely understand where you are coming from, why you are not completing your task. So please understand. So it's not. So never feel that when you are trying to postpone something, if somebody says, oh my gosh, you're going through, no, it's not. It's clearly not. Okay. So, and behaviors can be changed easily, right? So that's what I'm trying to explain it to you all. So how you can overcome a procrastination in, I would say, simple terms. What you can do. So let's talk about it, right? So first of all, identify your goals. So a lot of people have this ability not to clearly identify their goals. So please do so. You must know what exactly you want. There should not be anything, an area of, okay, it should be, I would be, I could be, none of those. If this is what, if your goal should be clearly defined. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Number two, now you have to have a specific goal. Now why I'm saying these two different things, because I want you to understand. When I say a specific goal, it means that you're working with SMART model. And I hope most of you know what is a SMART model, which is nothing but being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So now when you have a goal, it should have all those criteria in it. Okay, I hope I'm making it clear to you all. So it should have everything, those criteria, when you're working with a specific goal. Now, third one is, if you really want to overcome your procrastination, what you need to do, include your daily task list. To do daily. It's not about the weekly. You must work on the daily basis. That is really good. Okay. Now the fourth one is, whenever you're working to overcome a procrastination, you need to factor in the faults, whatever you'll be facing, the failures. You need to factor in on that. So please make sure that you do that. Okay. And the last one is, if you can, find an accountability, work with a coach if you can, and you can always come to me. Work with a coach or work with somebody or a friend or a family member who can be an accountable partner with you in overcoming your procrastinations. So whether you have one problem or more, you can always work with somebody. Okay, but if you don't find anybody, please don't hold yourself back not working towards it. So this session, that's why I'm giving you, so that you can understand something about you. Why are you procrastinating? Okay, or if you are a lazy person, if you can identify with the laziness of it, then you should understand why you are not even starting a project or completing a project. So there are two different things we are talking about. So there was a person who talked in the management world about 2-minute rule. So by the name of David Allen. So what he said was, if you have a task which can be completed in 2 minutes, then do it. So what he's talking about here is the very first step you need to take when you want to overcome a procrastination. For instance, what is a 2-minute task? 2-minute task could be writing text to somebody, could be picking up phone, talking to your boss or your friend or whatever, so 2-minute task is the beginning level when you're trying to overcome a procrastination. So you can start doing that. So that's what I wanted to share it with you all. If you think you are having an issues with procrastination, you can start working with 2-minute rule. Now, the time method, which I share it with my clients, I'm sharing it with you all. So what are those? So time is what? T-I-M-E. Now this is one thing which I tell them to do it on the daily basis. So please pay attention. You don't have to postpone it to the next week or something. You have to, in the beginning, if you're trying to overcome your procrastination, you have to work with this time method on the daily basis. So what does that stand for? So T is treat yourself with a reward. So most of the people, they fail to see their small successes, and so that gives a signal to their mind that they are facing a failures all the time. So these successes don't matter. These little successes don't matter to them. Now on the daily basis, how you can treat yourself, I usually tell people that give yourself a compliment that I did great, I achieved this. So any of your accomplishment, you do it for the day. Okay, remember that. So T stands for that. It doesn't have to be in the form of a gift. It has to be in the form of, oh, I did something nice. Whatever it is, even if you complimented something to someone or for their work or whatever it was, just give it in the more purest manner and you achieved something. And if you're working with a task or a project or in the company, you can see, oh wow, I was able to achieve this part of my project, whatever it is. So just treat yourself. Okay. Number 2 is I is implement planner daily. So you have to look at your planner on the daily basis. So please don't hesitate not looking at it, because even if it's the same, get in the habit of looking at your planner. Okay, just pick it up and see if it's on the phone. You can see it on the phone, if it's on the laptop, or it's if you have a digital planner or you have a physical planner. So just watch it every day for a few days. Now next one is M. Manage your stress on the daily basis. Now what does that mean? You have to find out 10 minutes for yourself on the daily basis where you are able to connect to yourself. Correct? You can use any of the modalities you want to. Some people like to walk, some people like to meditate, whatever it is, how you try to combat your stress for the day. Just find 10 minutes in a day, and if you are not able to find 10 minutes, so what you can do, you can divide it into 5 minutes each. If you're working, you can look at it, 5 minutes break, and then you can start to see or connect with yourself in any form, a stress ball, whatever it is you want to work with. There's so many things on the market you can work with. All right. Now E. Now evaluate your progress on the daily basis. Now once you're trying to literally, you have made a commitment to yourself that you're going to become very efficient and productive by overcoming your procrastination, you have to evaluate your own progress on the daily basis. So this is the time method which I share it with my clients, and I'm sharing it with you all, and you can try it and do this exercise, I would say at least for 2 weeks. And there should not be any missing day, other than the weekends. Of course, I truly understand you have to spend with your family and friends. But other than 5 days, you just need to follow this routine of time method. And I'm sure you will really find yourself after 14 days becoming very probably productive. Now, the last and the most important one, I'll be giving you some questions which you can do it yourself, and you can see if you're a procrastinator or how well you can overcome this situation of procrastination. So these are the 5 test questions for you. So whenever you're trying to procrastinate in your life, you can start working with these 5 questions. So what are these? Number 1, do I need to do this project, this task, or this thing at all? So remind your mind that I need to do this at all, or I just skip it. I can skip it. So now you're priming your mind, like why are you thinking of not doing it or postponing it? Okay. So you can rate yourself from 1 to 10, where 1 could be a rating of where you don't want to do anything at all, and 10 where you're able to do finishing up your task. So you're motivated. 1, least motivated. 10, you're most motivated. So you can rate yourself. So for instance, do I need to do this thing at all? Now, if it is a task where your boss or your family or somebody is important one, so you would feel, yes, I need to finish it. If not today, but I need to finish it next week. So you will rate yourself from 5 to 10. Like, okay, I need to, if not today, then probably tomorrow or by next week, by this day, I have to finish. So you'll rate yourself between 5 to 7. So you have to see how your brain is also going to be responding to it. Okay. So that's how you have to look at this test. Now, the next question is, what is my motivation here? So I want you to see anything in your life with a little lens of motivation. Like, what is my motivation here? Like, why am I doing this task? What is this task is going to give it to me? What is this project is going to give it to me? Is have my if it's a homemaker task, what will happen if this happens? If you are in the professional world, what will happen if I do this work? And how motivated, what is going to be my motivation in it? And if you're a business person, why I'm doing this? So why is very important. What is my motivation in doing this task? And you rate yourself from 1 to 10 again. Now question number 3 is, how can I amplify my motivation? So previous question was, what is your motivation? Number 3 question is, how can I amplify my motivation? Now here, if you're trying to procrastinate, your mind will say, okay, I need to bring in my, enhance or increase my motivation to finish off this task. You see what is happening here? Now, if you have answered previous question with little on the lower side, you will try to answer this question with little higher side. Now, where do I have a motivation? How can I increase my motivation to complete this task? Okay, so this is very scientifically done questions here. And after that, the question number 4 would be for you all is, so what are the negative things holding me back? Now you think about the negative things which are literally holding you back. Now here the negative things I am going to be specifying for you all, so you can rate yourself accordingly. So what are those? The negative things or the negative emotions which could hold you back from not moving forward whatever you're trying to achieve is, number 1, overwhelm, fear, boredom, exhaustion and confusion. So you need to rate yourself, whatever you're trying to do, is it really holding me back in these areas? Am I fearful of doing it? Am I overwhelmed? It is too much of work, or I'm boredom, I don't like it. Exhaustion, I don't feel like doing it today. Confusion, I'm confused why this task is given to me. So you can rate yourself based on this emotions, okay? And the last one is, again, very important one, is how can I adjust those negative factors? So if you have picked up any of those emotion factors, now how you can adjust it? Okay, so you can definitely start working with those questions. Now how you will rate yourself in this is, if you have completed all of it, so if you get very less scoring, like from 1 to 15, or I would say 20, you are procrastinating a lot. So you are not able to put your mind around a situation where you can overcome it and move forward with it. If you're getting anywhere, I would say from 15, 20 to 35, you are not a procrastinator, but you are going to finish up the task, but you still have some inclination of procrastination. Okay, so you going to finish up the task, but you will going to delay it for some time, for whatever the reasons are, if your scoring is that. And if you get anywhere from 35 to 50, you definitely are not a procrastinator. You are able to overcome, self-motivate yourself to finish up a job or finish up a task or a project. So I hope that test today, what I explained it to you all, would be very helpful to you all. And that was all about procrastination and the tips and techniques which I gave it to you all. You can use any one of them and see how it is working for you. All right, so I'm going to be opening up for some questions. Okay. Regarding this particular topic, hi to everybody who's asking me. I'm doing well. Every time I hear, I don't know. So I don't know what that question is. It has to be relevant to the topic. Hi. So Anika Khan is asking how can I overcome my fear of public speaking. So that's a very interesting one, Anika. What you could do, you have to, so now you're talking about the emotion fear. So I would suggest to you, see, now this is what I was telling you about. It boils down to the part where you are procrastinating, is there has to be related to a strong emotion. So in your case, I can clearly see it's fear. So if you want to overcome your public speaking, what you could do, you can start working with your family or friends first in a group. Or if you're working, you can start doing some webinars with people and see how you are able to speak there. And if there's a nervousness, you can do some other techniques, which I would be taking little in one of my other lives. But right now, if you feel that you don't want to be there and you're kind of having anxieties over is just start with somebody you are familiar with. Even with your friends, just try to speak up in a group where you start to feel comfortable, and slowly and gradually you can walk out of it, and then you can get into the professional world and so on and so forth. That's the later part of it. But for now, since you are fearful about the situation, just get over your fear, okay? And start doing it from today. All right. Okay, so I think that is all about it. So I hope any of you who are suffering from procrastination, you will be able to overcome some of it today by answering some of those questions, or you are going to try any of those tips and techniques. So do leave a message and comment below like how did you like this session, and I'll be back again with another session next Friday at 1 p.m. You all have a wonderful day.